Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's question has 3 answers, and you're going to want to stick around because the third answer is going to tell you exactly how much time you need to use every day if you want to succeed at self-publishing. So let's get into today's question. The question that was sent in was, you don't have time to self-publish? And it's a question that many people wonder. It's actually more of a problem that people experience, and it can cause a complete debilitation, the inability to actually do what it is you want to get done in order to achieve your dream. Because what happens is you start off and you start writing a book and you fall off at some point where you're writing it, or maybe you get the book complete, but then the steps on self-publishing themselves create a barrier for you, so you're unable to continue making progress with your book. And so as a result, you simply fail to get the book out on the market because you feel that there's too little time available to go about doing it, and you don't exactly know where to start. And that is what we're going to take a look at in today's video. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Click the subscribe button below here if you'd like for me to make more videos like this, because that will help me reach other people and tells me also that this video is helpful. So please go ahead and do that. And check out below in the description and you can grab a copy of my absolutely free self-publishing checklist to make sure you are not skipping any of the important steps necessary to win at the self-publishing game. So let's get into it. I'll start a little bit from my own story. I first started self-publishing back in 2015, and I found that I wasn't using any time at all on a daily basis on self-publishing. That was after I had already written my books and published a few books, but very quickly you start to reach a little bit of a burnout where you've already done this process enough times and you're beginning to feel like, I don't know if I have the time. I've got so many other things in life that are making it difficult to actually get my seat in the chair and actually make progress on the books. I lacked the motivation to just keep going. On my earlier books, I had reached a point where I was able to write 1,000 words a day until I got the book done, and then I was able to break that up and get the thing going. But in my case, I had the problem of after you've been doing it for a while, trying to stay motivated. And the other problem can be because you haven't ever done it the first time, it's difficult to stay motivated. When there's something for which we don't have that sense of mastery at that point, it causes a huge barrier, causing us not to make progress. And the thing is that it's impossible to keep earning without investing in more books. Your books that you come out with, it's not that every book will continue to sell equally. They start to decrease over time. And so it's dependent upon you getting more books onto the market so that people will be able to find them. Well, the thing that I found was I hired a coach off Fiverr, not a coach, but an accountability coach. And this person simply would make sure that on a daily basis, I would check in and say that I did 5 minutes of progress. And I knew that doing 0 up to 5 minutes was a huge difference. And suddenly I started using 1 to 2 hours a day, because what happened was I got back in the flow and I began to get the motivation back again. Making progress brings about the internal desires to keep pushing forward and getting that motivation that you need in order to succeed at what your goal is. And in this case, it's self-publishing. So you don't have time to self-publish? Well, it doesn't take many hours to self-publish a book. I mean, it does take many hours. So it's not like you're going to self-publish a properly done book in an hour or 2. So it's going to take a lot of time. There's going to be some learning involved in the process. And this becomes our barrier because it does take a lot of time and you feel, I don't have the time. So one of the things you need to do is you need to look for areas where you're spending time on TV, video games, maybe movies, Netflix, or other hobbies that could be cut. And it's not to say that any of these things are a bad use of time. It's simply a thing which is that you need to prioritize. You need to figure out, is self-publishing something you really want to do? Do you wish to be a self-published author? And if you already have self-published, do you wish to continue to build up that archive and the revenue coming in from the books that you're publishing? And if so, then you need to look very closely at the areas in your life that can be cut back in order to ensure that you're able to continue making the success that you would like to do when it comes to self-publishing. self-publishing. And today's secret answer of the day, and the third answer, it's that you only need 5 minutes a day. That's it. You really don't need any more time than that, because what we discover is that you set a timer, and when you reach 5 minutes, if you're making great progress and you still feel motivated, keep going. If not, then cut it off at that point. With just 5 minutes a day, you will discover that your motivations will go up. Your motivation level is directly connected to the progress you're making. If you feel you're making progress, then you'll be able to pull through it and continue to make that progress. And you'll find that the time you use starts to go beyond 5 minutes. Like, well, let me just finish this one task. And before you know it, you'll have made the progress that you were looking to make, that you were unable to make before you were doing the 5 minutes. Now, you can, of course, get a coach on Fiverr or someplace like that if you feel that you don't have friends or family that are able to do it for you. For me, I like to have somebody external, helps keep me motivated and on track with my goals. But maybe you work a little differently. Whatever the case is, mark down on your calendar an X for every day that you do, in fact, get the 5 minutes in, and I can guarantee you're going to make progress with that. So, do you feel you have enough time to self-publish? If you do, write yes below in the comments, and if you don't, write no below in the comments, and check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.